I'm Rob. I love flying and I love fly fishing, so I'm the fly fisherman. And today we're going on a little adventure. If you love airplanes and you love fishing, you want to come along. We're going to take this 1990 Cessna Citation that's been totally renovated. New paint, new interior, new Garmin avionics package, which we'll show you. We're going to fly it up to beautiful western North Carolina, land at Macon County Airport, and then go to the Nantahala River and do some fly fishing. I got my Winston rod. We're going to load up the airplane, and like I said, if you love flying and you love fishing, you want to come along for this adventure. All right, so we start at Craig Field in Jacksonville, Florida, and check out this freaking Citation V that's been totally renovated. New paint, new interior. We have a double club in this airplane, so 10 seats. Feels like a little mini Gulfstream, seriously. And this is the Pilatus PC-24 style interior, that stitched white interior. Okay, here's the Garmin panel. This is the JetTech STC, and this installation was done by Ariana Aviation out in Chino, California. And they got the whole panel, they pull everything out, they put in 2 Garmin 750s, they put in 2 Garmin TXIs, all the various, voice activation. We put a 796 on the yoke. This panel feels like a brand new airplane, even though it's a 1990 aircraft. And I'm telling you, this airplane feels brand new. So we're taking off runway 32 at Craig. We're gonna head up to North Carolina. Full throttle, here we go. Taking off from this airport, and let's get our way up to North Carolina. It's only about a 50-minute flight to North Carolina. So we're gonna be wheels up from Jacksonville, down to North Carolina, ready to fish in just a few hours. Look at that gorgeous panel. So look at the checklist there. One of the things that I do with this setup is put a checklist on the Garmin 750. And you have to do that manually by creating a little file with the Garmin software, but you can create a checklist file that you can upload onto an SD card and then have available on the Garmin 750. All right, as we're leaving Jacksonville, take a look at these marshes and the Timaquan Preserve. If you're a fisherman, this is a spot you want to check out. There's great guides in North Florida that will take you out for redfish, for snook, and the intercoastal, tarpon, offshore, false albacore. It's a great spot to fish, but we're going to North Carolina today for some freshwater fly fishing. All right, there's that checklist that we created with the 750. And again, you have to create these files yourself, but it works great. You can also talk to these 750s. So I'll say, show fuel planning here, and there's your fuel planning. And then I can say on the Garmin 750, show flight plan, and it's gonna pull up my flight plan. So there you go. So that's something to do. The 796 on the yoke is something that I recommend. You can link it into your Garmin 750s. It has charts, it has XM weather, it has more XM weather data than what shows on the panel mounts. So it's a good way to get a little extra value from a panel mount, and handheld. All right, we're looking at this TXI as we're flying up to North Carolina, showing that banana. That banana is moving there on the left. The banana tells you what altitude you're going to be at, when you're going to cross your targeted crossing altitude. And it's kind of a big jet feature that the Garmin TXIs have. Here we're showing the radar. That Garmin radar is so beautiful and so much more high resolution than the old radar. So definitely upgrade that. Look at the speeds here. 420 knots almost true airspeed. So this Citation V is a quick little bird. All right, we're going to show that beautiful synthetic vision as we come into North Carolina. Here are the beautiful mountains of North Carolina as we're coming into 1 Alpha 5. That's Macon County. Showing a little bit of traffic, showing the broad display. And here we coming on into North Carolina. We're crossing Nashville, coming across the Smoky Mountains. And let's just enjoy the view here as we come in for landing on Macon County Airport, 5,000 foot long runway in North Carolina. You're going to be just a few minutes away from some epic trout fishing on the Little Tennessee River and the Nantahala River. So come on in to Macon County and check this out if you want to go fly fishing. Let's just enjoy the view for a minute. All right, so we've arrived in Macon County, 1 Alpha 5, and we're gonna make the drive over Tellico Mountain Road from Macon County up to the Nantahala. We're on Tellico Mountain Road, driving to the Nantahala through the windy roads of North Carolina. It's stunningly beautiful out here. We're passing the Tellico Trout Farm, which is one of the hatcheries here in North Carolina that keeps the river stocked. Okay, all right, we're with Jordan McHugh here in beautiful Western North Carolina fishing the Nantahala River. What are we going to fish for today?
We're mostly stock trout, but we're catching some wild rainbows as well.
Cool. And what kind of flies?
Pheasant tails, waltz worms, some squirmy wormies mixed in.
And what kind of fly casting we're doing? What kind of rod we're using?
We're using longer nymphing rods and mostly waterload casts.
Okay, let's go catch some fish.
A traditional roll cast or overhand cast does not work. We're going to use what's called a waterload cast.
You're really casting just the leader.
Yes. Since we don't have the fly line to load our rod, we're using the tension of the fly leaving the water. So if we're first starting and our fly is just sitting in front of us, this is the hardest part of the cast in all reality. I'm gonna lift up, I'm gonna flick upriver, and then I'm gonna flick back downriver. Once my fly is downriver of me and I can see in my leader, I've got some sort of tension.
Yeah.
That's my green light, I'm ready to cast. The cast itself is as simple as taking the rod and flicking up. I'm gonna, so I can get off of that rod. It's as simple as taking the rod and flicking upriver. That's our whole cast. The trick is we're doing our best to keep that rod tip as level as we possibly can. So if you watch my rod tip, it stays on the same plane throughout my entire cast. So we're gonna keep our rod tip downstream of the cider. So after I make my cast, I'm gonna keep my rod tip up to keep that cider just above the surface of the water, and I'm gonna keep my rod tip downstream of the cider. If I don't get a bite by the time the cider gets to my downstream shoulder, I'm gonna flick downriver. Same motion as our cast upstream, but just reverse, so keeping the rod tip level, flicking downstream. And I need to make sure that I pause long enough for my leader to lengthen all the way out, and or for that leader for that fly to just hit the water. And lift. Cider up off the water. Good. See that rock it's got kind of yellow on the bottom side of it?
Yeah.
We're going to be casting on the other side of it. So I'm going to recast. There you go. There you go. We're going to cast in between the two currents now. Good.
Right there.
Yep. There you go. Got it. Now pull upriver. Good. Bring in some line. There you go. Right there. Lift up and drag it into me. Another spooky. Yep. And now lift. Cool. And lift. Stop reeling. Another rookie. Got a fish. Pulling some line, right there. Keep that pulling up river, going up river. Now lift up. The bookie.
Got it.
A little bit further out. Recast. Perfect. And lift, 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 lift. Recast.
What fly do we have on right now?
Wall swarm. The rod. There you go. Good. And stop reeling. Now lift up. There we go. And the brook trout. Fish vertical.
Okay.
You go to flight school at?
Florida.
In Florida. And lift. Pull upriver. He's bigger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right there. Oh, you still got him?
I got him.
Where the hell is he? Pull upriver. Now lift straight up.
There we
Sweet
go.
wild brown. Is that a wild brown?
Okay.
Or is that a holdover? That's a. Dude, that's awesome.
What do we got?
Big wild brown. Alright, let's get a picture of him.
Yeah. You got your camera?
Does he have like that thick stills? This is a really impressive fish.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go, dude. That was awesome.
That was a much bigger fish. He fought pretty good.
Yeah. As it's floating downriver, start to point your rod at the dry fly.
I see.
It's a wild rainbow.
Okay.
It's tiny, but it's a wild rainbow.
Okay, well at least we got the grand slam.
Just finished up our day with Rob. Had a great day. Got the North Carolina Grand Slam, brook trout, brown trout, and rainbow. Got a big wild brown too, which is awesome. Yeah, come out with us, flyfishingwnc.com. Book a trip, don't forget it.